Welcome to Love and Logic's Parenting Children with Health Issues. Do you ever wonder how to raise children who are confident, respectful, and responsible? Kids who eat right and take their medications all by themselves? Many parents rely on the rant, rave, rescue, and remind approach to parenting. And while this might work in the short run, it won't in the long run, especially if your kids are teenagers. So how do children really learn responsibility? With the 5 essential E's of Love and Logic. Join Dr. Foster Cline, a child psychiatrist, and Lisa Greene, a parent educator and mom of 2 kids with cystic fibrosis, as they discuss the 5 essential E's for raising responsible kids.
Hello, I'm Dr. Foster Cline, and right now we're going to talk about the second E of the 5 E's of Love and Logic. And that E is?
Example.
Example.
Which is a tough one to do when you have kids with special needs, because who are we talking about when we talk about an example?
Set the example. There are very far-reaching consequences of that, because if I want my kids to take good care of themselves, then it means that I have to take good care of myself. If I want my kids to put themselves first in a loving way as they go through life and not be overly influenced by the peer group, etc., etc., if I really want them to put themselves first in a good way, then they have to be putting themselves first in a good way. And when you have special needs kids, putting yourself first in a good way is not an easy road. What are some of the problems there?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's very time-consuming to take care of kids that have chronic illness, cystic fibrosis, diabetes, and other special needs. And so we parents just don't have the time and the energy to take good care of ourselves, to go out and exercise, to make sure we're getting enough sleep, to even just stop and read a good novel every now and then, to have a cup of coffee with a friend. So it's very difficult for us to take that time for ourselves and to take good care of ourselves. But the danger is that if we don't, then our kids will not learn to take care of themselves too. So for instance, having 2 children with cystic fibrosis, it's very important that my children learn how to eat right and eat properly for their medical condition. If they don't see me eating right and taking care of my body, then it doesn't matter what I say. I can say till I'm blue in the face, eat right, eat right, eat right. But if they don't see me eating right, then they're not going to do that as well, because our kids do not listen to what we say. They learn from what we do. They listen to what we do and the actions we take.
So there's going to be some times you say, I really don't like this, but I know it's good for me. I really don't like it, but I know it's good for me, and you eat it.
That's right.
You know, I can't be like 20 pounds overweight and tell my kid to eat healthy. I mean, granted that it's easier to tell another person what to do than it is for us to do it right, which makes examples so hard. But I think that one of the things that we really have to hit on this example thing is that that's the reason that we require respect from our kids. I don't require respect from my kids to make me feel better, although of course it does when the kids treat me respectfully. But the issue is, if my kids treat me with disrespect and then they put me inside them as their guiding light or their internalized object or internal parent or role model. See, the way my kids treat me way down deep inside is the way they're going to treat themselves. And that's why all kids who are disrespectful to loving parents end up with a poor self-image, because they treat themselves on a deeper basis the way they treat their loving parents, and they end up not feeling very good about themselves.
Which is very important to avoid when our kids have a chronic illness, because they already have the odds kind of stacked against them in some ways. I mean, some kids may not be able to be athletic as their peers, or when kids have repeated hospitalizations, they may not be able to excel academically. And so we want to do everything that we can to, number one, set the example so our kids are taking good care of themselves, and to do what we can, especially in such simple ways, to, you know, just to make sure that our kids have good self-image and that they feel good about themselves.
One of the last things, too, that I really want to emphasize on that is that when we're setting the example, that's a personal thing. I can't tell my kid, be respectful at school, be nice at school, treat other people right. Well, I can say it, but it doesn't help that much. All I have to do is make sure that the way that kid comes through to me is respectful. And if they're not respectful, I can't say, be respectful right now. When a kid's behavior is something that is self-destructive to them or not acceptable, you can't say change it, but you can say, honey, would you please take that behavior someplace else? or check out a mirror, find someone who would enjoy that kind of behavior, but it's not me.
Right, or we can say something like, as simple as, instead of saying, talk to me with respect, you talk to me respectfully, or don't shout at me, or don't talk to me like that. It's very simple to turn it around and say, sweetheart, I'm happy to talk to you when your voice is calm like mine. Or, you know, I'm happy to take you over to the soccer game when you can talk to me with respect.
Yeah. So we're
I have
concentrating.
control over what I can do.
So this whole example thing is, guys, in summary, is we're telling the kids what's good for us, and that we expect things to go on in our environment that's good for us, so that they grow up doing things that are good for them.
And one thing I want to add is that we as a parent are easy to please. And so we're not requiring our kids to jump through crazy hoops to please us. I am an easily pleased parent because I just love to be around them, and my requirements are pretty basic, that my kids are respectful and kind, and I expect them to talk to me the way that I talk to them. And here's another important point. We can never expect more from our kids than what we give them. So why don't you rephrase that? So.
Well, the point is, I can't expect my kids to be more respectful to me than I am to them. But the major important point to listen to, for people to pick up here, is that putting ourselves first has a lot of ramifications, and a lot of them have to do around what the vibrations, the respect, and the look in the eye, and the way our kids come through to us. And if that's in good shape, then they'll be treating themselves in a way that's good shape too.
Thank you for your interest in Love and Logic's Parenting Children with Health Issues. For more parenting tools, tips, and tactics, including many free resources, visit parentingchildrenwithhealthissues.com. You can also visit loveandlogic.com for general parenting resources.